Question number one, which is a top 10 question from Google that people type in about NFTs, which are, of course, non fungible tokens. So, Eric, 60 seconds to you. Are NFTs a good investment? What would you say?
NFTs are a great investment if you find the right ones with the right founders, the right roadmap that has, it could have short term or long term potential. I have found NFTs that I've done like a swing trade, like you buy a stock and you swing it in a week because you know they have something good happening in a week or 2 weeks. And or you could find the projects that you're the Warren Buffett, you're the Oracle, you're saying, hey, Kingdom Warriors NFT is going to the moon. It may take them 2 years, 3 years, but I know they're going to be the next big thing. That's when you're looking for buying as early as you can, and you just hold and you don't even worry about it because you're just, hey, this is going to be amazing in 5 years. This is going to be something I'm just going to give to my kids. This is my Coca-Cola stock. This is my Apple Tesla stock, and you just hold it for dear life and make sure you never lose your seed phrase.
100%. And the only thing I would add to that, Eric, is to think through the lens. And of course, this is not investment advice because we are not financial investors and advisors for people. But to answer the question of are NFTs a good investment, I would say they can be, right? Number one is nobody knows what NFTs are going to be if they're going to be a good investment long term. That would be like having a crystal ball and going back into the 70s and 80s and knowing if baseball cards or basketball cards are going to be a good investment. Some might not. Will Pokemon cards be a good investment, right? Will Beanie Babies be a good investment? So some of them will be, especially in the short term. And so I think it goes back to what Eric was saying, knowing the founders, knowing the utility. So the utility basically means like what are the benefits that you get as a holder. Sometimes people get airdropped even more NFTs. You get airdropped cryptocurrency, which means basically people just give it to you. Sometimes they can be sold for a gain. And so they can be a good investment depending upon how much hype is around them or again, the utility, the founders, the purpose of them. And then the last thing is that long term, to think through if the NFTs are a good investment, long term, we need to consider the historical aspect of it, which we are in a really unique position that this is the first season in ever in history that NFTs have become like a thing. They have just now made it into a technology. They could potentially exist forever as long as the servers are there. And so they could potentially be a good investment. So the answer is they can be. It just depends on which one. Some of them won't be, at least in the short term, but maybe they will long term overall, right? All right, question number two. The next question for which is a top 10 NFT question on Google is how does an NFT's price increase? How does that happen?
The NFT price increases based on supply and demand. You have to have an influx of buyers to come in and buy the NFTs. And then as the price is increasing, there still has to be a demand at that price increase to maintain um, basically activity on OpenSea or wherever the marketplace is. And so you always need the laws of supply and demand work in NFTs just like it does in the stock market, just like it does in the crypto market or the car market. So you need people who are willing to pay X price for that NFT. And so when looking at an NFT project, you got to look at that, look at future, marketing potential, marketability, what the roadmap it has in place. So if you know something big is happening in 2 months, and so that's gonna the game's gonna launch, and you believe, hey, once that game launches, I want to get in before that game launches because that's gonna bring in a ton of press, ton of hype, and ton of stuff. Then that could bring a price increase. That happened to me with a project called Averick Saga. I got an Averick Saga. That was the first NFT I sold, flipped for $5,000. I bought it for 0.077 ETH and sold it for $5,000 a week later. I got a rank 102. I ended up sweeping the floor with that 5 grand of ETH, and I bought about 10 NFTs. And they had, I waited like 2 months, 3 months. The price was like up and down, didn't go too crazy. And they ended up having this press release about the game they were building. basically they sold 8,888. They raised half a million, or they put half a million to partner with a game studio to build this game, Averick Saga game. And when they finally got some big news on the game or on auto staking, I think it was more on auto staking, and basically like be able to stake your token. All this big news hyped everything up. Someone got the floor all the way up to 0.17, and I woke up and had like all those 10 smaller NFTs or lower ranking NFTs. I sold all of them and woke up and had like another 3 grand, and all of them were sold overnight, and the floor just increased a ton from like 0.05 all the way to 0.17, zero point 0.2. So yes, that I've seen it happen.
Yeah, and I think that a simple way to explain that, answer that question also of how NFT price increase and change, how can an NFT's price increase? Something that you didn't say but you were saying, Eric, is supply and demand, right? So there is a limited supply of these NFTs. You said the Averick Saga one was 8,888. The Kingdom Warriors one that we launched, which actually need to put the link to at the top for Clubhouse. Oh, there you go. There it is. KingdomWarriorsNFT.com. I love it. Thanks, Eric. So right there, if you click on that link, you can access the Discord. We sold 300 and they sold out. And right now, there's some that are listed for about $3,000. Some are listed for like out of upwards of $25,000 or something like that, because there's only 300 of them in existence, and there will only be 300 of those kinds, which are the Genesis ones. Supply and demand, if someone has a limited supply but a lot of people want them, then people are going to, because they're individual people that own them, they are going to increase the price because they think they can sell them for more. So that's just a really a different way of saying the same thing that you were saying. All right, next question. So this question is, again, another top 10 NFT question on Google that people type in. And it is, can an NFT make you rich? What would you say, Eric?
I would say go Google Board Ape Yacht Club, and there are a lot of people, 2 to 3 thousand people around the world who, in May of 2021, were in the NFT community, somehow heard about this launch, and they bought Board Ape Yacht Club, one of those 10,000 NFTs for zero point zero 0.07 ETH, and that zero point zero 0.07 ETH is now a minimum of $250,000 divided by $3,000 worth of ETH. So they're pretty much the minimum, lowest rank, cheapest one is $250,000, $250,000. Some of them are worth millions. Some of them are sold on Sotheby's or whatever. They're the that bidding place for over $1 million. There's people packaging deals with them and selling them over $1 million. There's brands. Adidas is buying some. Obviously, celebrities. So I would say I've met friends who have absolutely said that it'll make you rich. People who even have minted a free Neo Tokyo, which is Alex Becker's one that he minted free if you like landed on his Twitter and did his passcode and went to his website to the right time and minted a Neo Tokyo. People are earning 6 figures from that. So, and it depends your term rich. Is rich 5,000 a month? Is it 10,000 a month? There's NFTs, CyberKong's making people 6 figures. Neo Tokyo is making people a lot of money. It's over 10 ETH for buying and selling them, and they got them for free. The Averick Saga one, and other ones I've sold for 5,000 a piece. Did they make me rich yet? No. Having your own project, can they make you rich? I would say rich. NFTs in general has made me rich, as in fulfilled with my work and fulfilled with my life. As far as like something I'm passionate about is using this technology to do movies, to do gaming, to do art, and have a community. It's made me rich as far as I not in my bank account yet. I mean, it's actually been able to pay bills and do stuff with NFTs. NFTs have been able to pay my bills, um, but at the same time, they've also been able to give me fulfilling work. So I feel rich because of that.
I love that. I need to hang out with you more often, even more than I already do, Eric, to learn about these NFTs that are selling for 10 ETH that people got for free, and the CyberKongs where people are earning 6 figures by holding them. And I would say again, it goes back to, it depends on if you can find the right one, because while I definitely recommend Googling Board Ape Yacht Club, there's another one called the Crypto Punks. And the CryptoPunks was a project where they were given to 10,000, they were given away for free. And I saw one earlier today, so 21 hours ago, as we're recording this, CryptoPunk number 5577 was sold from one person to another for 2,501 ETH, which is at current ETH, as the price of ETH stands, it was $7,700,000. And so, in simple terms, yes, it can. Does it happen a lot? I would argue probably not. But it also, like, I like what you said, how it depends upon your your definition of what is rich, right? So, like, what we define as rich, like, I would argue, I think that pretty much anyone in the world is going to argue that $7.7 million is going to make someone rich.
Yeah, for sure. That hits the target.
Yeah, that hits the target for anybody. And then $5,000 to us might not mean in the United States that we're rich, but to someone overseas, it definitely potentially could. All right, next question. Are NFTs worth anything? Are they worth anything? What would you say to that one, Eric?
Well, given Kingdom Warriors NFT, this is a project that we just launched. Someone just came in today and bought an NFT from one of our community members on secondary for 0.15 ETH, and they minted it from us for 0.07 ETH. So they just sold it for basically double. And someone came on and they were super happy and they were like, "Man, I just minted this NFT. It was a bringer NFT, which is a guild in our world of Ileydria." And yeah, so they were worth that much, $550 or whatever 0.15 ETH is. And the other day, someone just bought one of our legendary for a quarter of an ETH, which is like 700 something dollars. So for 700 something dollars, someone resold our piece of JPEG, our art. So I mean, they're worth something for sure. People are paying for it.
Which is a steal, right? Like, to me, that is a steal. To be able to buy a legendary for that, I was like,
Yeah, that's a
what?
steal for sure.
And here's something to contribute to what you were saying is I would now flip the question also and say, well, so the original question was, are NFTs worth anything? I would say, is gold worth anything? Are diamonds worth anything? Is platinum worth anything? Like, why are those things? Is a MacBook computer or an iPad or an iPhone or, I don't know, like a Tesla car, are those worth anything? And the answer is we assign worth to certain things. If anybody's ever seen like a post-apocalyptic type movie, now all of a sudden some things become way more valuable than they were when they were. I remember the Book of Eli with what's his name, Denzel Washington. There was a like the last Bible in existence, which happened. Spoiler: it happened to be not a traditional Bible. It was written in a language that only Denzel's character could read. So in that movie, that Bible was like one of the most precious things. Water was the most precious thing. Whereas instead, like right now, gold or diamonds or platform, these physical things, and NFTs are simply because of scarcity, which is why gold is or diamonds are or platinum are. All right, we're kind of transitioning. That's kind of like the financial section of these questions. Now, the next series of questions are a little bit different. And this next one, Eric, this question is, how does NFT minting work? How does that work? We just minted 300 Kingdom Warriors Genesis tokens. So how does that even work?
Yeah, great question. So the way it works is your MetaMask wallet on the blockchain. So there's a smart contract. Your mint is on the blockchain, which means your NFT that is like assigned to, the collection, assigned to, there's rules in the blockchain and the code, and then once you mint your wallet, your money, your Ethereum or Solana or whatever you're minting, and for us, the Ethereum blockchain, you're minting, you're paying and exchanging with that smart contract, saying, "Hey, I'm giving you what the contract says is zero point zero 0.07 ETH. You're giving me this NFT, and then now you have the NFT in your MetaMask, and then you purchase that NFT, and that's how Web3 technology works. It allows you to transact on OpenSea, and allows you to transact on our website to launch that is API basically connected to OpenSea after the launch, and just be able to transact with buying and selling NFTs, minting NFTs, purchasing them, and being able to show up afterward, the art and everything on OpenSea so you could view it, or you can view it on your MetaMask as well.
100%. And to contribute to what you were saying, so in minting an NFT is a lot like new construction for a house, right? So new construction is when a construction company comes together and assembles the different pieces and parts, right? So an NFT is a line of code that lives in the blockchain. And what that means is basically there are computers that are double checking other computers and the transactions that are happening and keeping what's called a ledger and a digital record of who owns what. And when you have that digital record, then all of a sudden you can sell it through the blockchain and transfer it from one person to the other, right? And so minting, you can mint an NFT where like you're the first person to own something and they were the creator of it. So like with Kingdom Warriors, we had a team of artists. Eric led the team and they created this incredible art. And right now, one of them is my profile picture. And in this artwork, they created it. But if you minted it, you connected your wallet, you paid a certain amount of cryptocurrency, and you what's called minted it to where it means that you basically said, hey, I'm going to pay this money and I want this computer to generate this artwork for me. And you were randomly given you're the very first person to own it. And then on the blockchain. And then, so that's one side of it. The other side of it is you can mint your own NFTs rather than minting someone else's artwork that they've created. You can go to OpenSea if you want to, create a new collection, and you can hit create and upload a piece of artwork, either like an audio file, like this recording of Clubhouse, Eric, we could turn this into an NFT if we wanted to, because it's an audio file. And so you can either do that yourself you can mint one yourself, so you're the first person that owns it, or you can mint someone else's, which is a lot of times what's happening with these 10,000 or 8,888 or 7,777 or 300. These are different forms of minting something. All right. So the next question in our top 10, and we're about halfway there, Eric. We're doing pretty good. We're halfway there. So we might start to pick up the pace a little bit. So here's the next one is, can NFTs be copied? Can NFTs be copied?
NFTs can be copied, and as far as you can upload duplicate collections, you can right click. We had about 15 to 20 people try to, I don't know, I guess you would say right click, save, and try to do a fake collection of Kingdom Warriors. But there can only be one, like Highlander says. And so yeah, so I actually just won an IP request and just took down like the main fake one collection. So Sean, that was good news I just got from OpenSea. Is they saw that we were the founders, we were the real Kingdom Warriors. We took down the fake, some fake collections, and yeah, and so on the blockchain, you can actually see that who is the real deal, who is the real founders, who's the real Bored Ape Yacht Club, who's the real Crypto Punks, who's the real Kingdom Warriors. And because of that, whether it's Adidas or Nike or any big brand, because of that, you can see who really uploaded it, whose IP is that. And OpenSea will work with you if you show it, hey, this is my IP, this is my website, Discord, here's my LinkedIn, here's my info. They can take down other fakes. So technically, yeah, the blockchain, there's ways to make sure that you're the legit one, and that you people know, go to the source to actually mint the real thing.
Yeah, 100%. That's amazing news, Eric. And I think it's an interesting topic how people what they basically do is they will copy your artwork, which is what Eric was talking about. So they download the same images that we had created for the artwork for Kingdom Warriors and that our amazing team did of developers and artists. And then, so they saved that artwork, created their own NFT. So essentially, like, they copied the artwork, but the actual NFT itself, the digital piece of code that's traceable through the blockchain, that was not copied. but they did create their own version of it, and so it's kind of a copy, but it's also kind of not. It's kind of a weird kind of thing there. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Eric. You can comment on the replay. You can DM us. You can ask in Discord. Please be sure to click on the link in Clubhouse or click in the link in the description of this YouTube video as we're recording it, and join the Discord, and you can ask more questions there. All right, so next question is where, and I've kind of already answered this a couple times, so maybe this is like a 30-second one, Eric. Where are NFTs stored?
So they are stored on the Ethereum blockchain. If you're doing it on Ethereum, if it's Solana blockchain. Cardano has one, but who cares about Cardano? Um, but for
Whoa,
us, we're on
shots
the Ethereum
fired, shots
blockchain.
fired.
Just kidding. I just haven't cared too much about Cardano, and one of the people I listen to always makes fun of Cardano, saying like their gains are like so small because it's like plateaued and stayed there for so long. So he's like just makes fun of them because but they still have actually a community that really likes Cardano. Anyways, I just threw that out there. It was kind of funny. I'm actually being facetious, but anyways, so they also, as far as files, you can also use something called like IFPS or something like that, which is like intergalactic file planetary system. I don't know, something crazy. Well, anyways, you can store data there too, as well as the blockchain, or do both. We're actually doing both with our files, where it's stored there and the Ethereum blockchain.
Yes, and the only thing to add to that, Eric, is they live on the blockchain. They're traceable through that. However, if you have an asset like an NFT or a set of cryptocurrency, there is another place you can store it. It's still traced through the blockchain, but you can store it in what's called, there's two versions basically, either a hot wallet or a cold wallet. A hot wallet is where it's going to be in MetaMask or in your Rainbow wallet or one of those other like digital software wallets. There is a way, and don't ask me how because I've never done it before, but you can transfer an NFT and cryptocurrency into what's called a cold storage wallet, which is basically like a USB drive that you would plug into your computer. Maybe it's a little bit more high tech than that, but then you would basically transfer it onto that device and store it in that device, so it's traceable through the blockchain. But now it's no longer in your wallet like in software version. It's now in a hardware version, and it's still a piece of code, but it's on this device that you can then unplug from your computer and keep it super safe, a lot like an external hard drive kind of thing. All right, moving on up to the east side. Just kidding. All right, next question. This next one is a really interesting one, Eric. In 60 seconds or less, how will NFTs change the world?
NFTs will change the world by simplifying and creating innovation and solving problems that our current world has. Right now, like whether you go to the DMV and everything, the line is taking forever. Whether you go to your movie tickets place and you're having to wait in line to get inside of a Dallas Maverick uh, basketball game, or whether you're buying real estate and trying to prove that they who owns the title. And I've for me, also do real estate deals, and I buy deals from this guy who inherited this house or had issues with this house, and I go to the title company and they're telling me, hey, we have to go cloud this title. This person has a lien on it. This person has this on it. We have to do this. So by the time we make an offer or whatever, it has to minus all these fees and all this stuff. If we did stuff like that with the titles and real estate, and title companies would be non-existent. You could see all the liens on that title on the blockchain. You could see there's no cloud on the title, or no need for all that, because you go to the blockchain, look at the activity on that NFT, and you'll just say, hey, this is where this NFT is at. This is where what's all been transacting and happening, and there's going to solve so many problems. Whether it's movies, raising funds for apartments, raising funds for movie premieres, and giving the movie holders an NFT as they fund a film. I mean, just so many cool things is going to be happening.
That was well said. I mean, you pretty much stole all of the predictions that I have, except there's a couple more that I would add. I think that driver's licenses will be NFTs one day. I think that passports will be. You just carry around your phone and it lives there, and you can prove who owns it, like who is like the originator of it, kind of thing. I also think that NFTs will make their way into everyday transactions for simple things like in a concert ticket or a conference or a sporting event ticket, kind of like Ticketmaster is, except in NFT form. And even the Super Bowl is about to test out by giving people a souvenir NFT because they attended the Super Bowl. So that's just a couple there to add on to what you were saying. All right, last two questions. So top 10 NFT questions on Google. This question is well, basically what they're asking is, are NFTs a scam? Are they a con? Is this someone like pulling a fast one over us? What would you say to that, Eric?
I would say they're definitely it is like a wild west right now. So there are a lot of scams, a lot of cons out there. In any new industry where there's a lot of money, billions of dollars floating in, a lot of new people, a lot of uneducated people. I think there's a lot of people who can, have that knowledge and sell snake oil, sell, hey, it looks really cool, but then they don't, they're just trying to trick people and scam people. So, look out for the good guys, use discernment, do your research, really talk to listen to AMAs, listen to their voice, talk to them, look at their LinkedIn, look what they've done, look at, just, I don't know, look what the community's saying, try to get a vibe check, and, but overall, no, there's a lot of great stuff going to be happening. But I think if you look at the history of businesses, I have a business degree. If you look at the history of businesses, 90% of businesses fail. So therefore, if you put that to NFT businesses or NFT launches, 90 to 95% of them are going to fail. So look for the 5%, and yeah, be smart.
Yeah, and I think that the question of, are NFTs a con? The Like you said, there are scams out there. It is like the Wild West, where it's kind of like there's no real like law of the land kind of thing. And so our NFTs as a whole, the NFT technology that exists today is not a scam. It is not a con. So that's a simple answer. And then to answer the question again of, are NFTs a con or a scam? So the NFT technology itself is not a scam. However, people just like Enron was basically a gigam. Multi-level marketing things have been a scam. Like, is it Lululemon? I saw is kind of hit the news recently with a Netflix thing, and they were not painted in a pretty picture, right? And so different technologies can be used to create scams, but the NFT technology itself is not a scam, it is not a con. All right, the final question that we have from Google, of some of the top 10 NFT questions, is, how can you create a passive income with an NFT? What would you say is a good answer for that one, Eric?
So due to a smart contract can give you cyberkongs. For example, a Genesis cyberkongs gives you 100 bananas, and because there's only 1,000 of those cyberkongs, and those cyberkongs NFTs blow up, the bananas token ends up being worth $43 per, which is what happened. It turned into, like, you could probably look, Sean, right now how much bananas token is for cyberkongs, but it turned into like $43, which 43 times 100 is, I think it's 43 times. I think that's 4,300 a day. So I don't know. It was either $4.30, or maybe it was $430 a day. Anyways, it was basically like and there's like one of the guys who's an advisor in our community. He has a Bored Ape he bought for $400,000. He wears these ice wearables, which is ICE wearables, inside Decentraland. He basically commissions them out to poker players, and the poker players, he earns a percentage, and he's been earning, like, every time the poker players are playing, he earns like 300 to 400 a day playing poker in the metaverse. Another example is Axie Infinity. There's people who are earning a full time's wage in the Philippines, in a third world country, just to play Axie Infinity throughout the day. And so there's people earning full time wages. There's scholarships where People own the Axie Infinities and they're scholarshiping them to people to play and to earn, play to earn games. We're building a play to earn game where we believe people will be able to earn a good amount of income just from holding their NFT and doing like a few moves a day, one to few moves a day. So yeah, it's happening. I've earned. I think the best NFT I had was Wizards and Dragons. At one time, I was earning $148 a day, or was it a day? I think at the peak it was a day, but then they stopped giving you after a certain period. They were like, okay, once we hit this point, you're no longer earning that many tokens a day. So it depends how many tokens are you earning a day and what is the price per token, and that's how you can kind of equal what is your passive income, if you wanted to catch that.
Well, Eric, that was well said and way more knowledgeable than I could possibly answer because I have never made a passive income with an NFT. So now I'm curious and I want to stick around with you, like I said earlier, so that I can find one that I can actually do that now. So thank you for sharing that with us, man.
Hey, well, you're holding the legendary soon.
You
In
know,
2 to 3 weeks, you're going to be earning tokens for that legendary a
let's
day.
go. Let's go. It'll be my first chance to stake my NFT and earn a passive income from it. So, hey, if you're in the audience and you're listening to the replay, or if you're listening to this live, thank you for sticking around with us. We have had a lot of fun. We have answered 10 questions now of that are some of the top 10 questions that people ask and type into Google about NFTs. It was, are NFTs a good investment? How does an NFT's price increase? Can NFTs make you rich? Are NFTs worth anything? How does NFT minting work? Can NFTs be copied? Where are NFTs stored? How will NFTs change the world? Are NFTs a con or a scam? And how can you create a passive income with NFTs? So feel free to listen to the entire replay if you would like to catch the answers to those. Eric, we did it, man. 8:35.